today I want to talk about something which recently caught my attention, and that is Hylo, a DeFi protocol on Solana which recently claimed victory at a Solana Coliseum hackathon. And what makes this protocol interesting is how they are building something different in the stablecoin space right now, and they have an active points campaign going on, which is a really good opportunity to farm, and also some crazy yields on both their stablecoin, which you can stake, and also with their leveraged Solana. And of course, I will have a write-up on the website Solana Airdrop Guides or Solana Guides, where you can keep up to date with anything new which happens with the project. So loading up the platform, it's very simple to get started, and honestly, it can all be done in under 5 minutes. So what makes Hylo different from some other protocols like traditional stablecoins like USDT and USDT, which rely on centralized exchanges? When you do that, you are trusting those teams with their dollar-backed tokens. But Hylo is taking a bit of a different approach. So if we do launch the app, I've already signed up and logged in. But what they do is they use liquid staking tokens. So specifically Solana LSTs like Xsoll as the backing for their entire ecosystem. So when you do load up, you will be brought to this screen and will have to connect a wallet. So they only have wallet connection. I've already signed up, but when you do this step, you will be asked for a code. I will have a code in the description and in the article, as well as this does give you a 5% points boost. This is a new wallet, and you can already see my XP ticking up right here. But now we'll go over kind of the two main products and then just a bit more information about the project. So I don't do leverage. I'm not the biggest fan of it. So I'll start with the stablecoin feature. So when you first load up, you can see there's a few different options at the top. So they keep it pretty simple, and they do have a pretty good Q&A. But if we head over to this stablecoin, this is where you can mint their HYUSD stablecoin. So this is pegged to the US dollar 1-to-1. So whenever, the dollar doesn't fluctuate, but this is stable all the time, and is backed by this basket of Solana LSTs, which I did mention. And we can see they also have the LST yield right there as well. And their second product is obviously their leveraged Xsoll, which I currently don't have any of. But what it does is it has this leverage which changes over time. But instead of traditional platforms, when you buy this token, you don't pay any fees for starters. And also there is no liquidation risk. You obviously are carrying the risk of when the price falls. If you minted some, you will be losing twice the amount you would if you held regular Sol. But the reverse is true if it pumps as well. So we'll start with the conservative play to earn XP. So if we head over to portfolio, click on our level, we can see a bit more information about this point system, where we rank, our total XP, and how we can actually earn the most amount of XP. So you can see my code right there, and you can also see this XP breakdown, which goes over all of the different features. So we can see Xsoll, which is the leverage Sol, has a massive boost. Obviously, this is because it carries the most risk. It is one of their primary products, and you are able to get that 40 XP boost by holding Xsoll. We will see Hylo Sol, which is the LST, which I will be picking some up of, as it does have that very nice yield, a lot higher than other LSTs in the market. If we were to go over to Jupiter and we look at Xsoll, for example, we can see 7.28%, Hylo almost double that right now. But then we can also see the HYUSD and the staked stablecoin as well, and that's where I'm gaining the XP, but with the lowest amount of points available. But this is what I'll start with, as if you have USD sat around, it can be a good opportunity to diversify some over to this. So go over to the stablecoin, and what you can do here is you can swap whatever asset you have, such as USDC, into the HYUSD. I'm just going to put 10 here, as I already own them, and we'll let that load, make sure it looks correct. We can see the conversion ratio is correct, and we can mint this. So once that is minted, now we have this stablecoin, but we don't actually earn anything on this. You do need to actually go over to the earn tab and stake it and change it. So we're going to click max here, and we're minting staked HYUSD. So we do that. Now we we will be earning points from it, and we will get this nice 17.24% APY. So over a year, you know, $1,000, you're going to earn an extra $170 from it. So next, I'm going to head over to the LST. Now, this is safer than the leveraged option, less XP. But if you have spare Xsoll sat around, which is not doing anything either, I can put, for example, I will put 5 Solana here. And this is going to get 15% as well on my Solana, which I'd be holding anyway. So it's not costing me anything. Even if Solana goes down, I would have held this anyway. So I can mint this. And once the transactions go through, we're going to be earning XP, and I also hold this LST. And as this is an LST, it is visible in your wallet. Now, I do have an article on what LSTs are. I've done other videos talking about them. So if you go on the website, over to Learn Solana Beginner's Guide, you will be able to see that. But they do also have their resources on exactly what this means as well. And you're delegating your Xsoll to the Hylo validator. So that pretty much covers everything. This is definitely one of the best yield-bearing solutions on Solana currently. But, you know, other than that, some other reasons why this is a good opportunity. They have a decent amount of funding, 1.7 million in their first raise. They won the Solana Coliseum, which is a very good event. And also, this is still a fairly new project. It first released in July, gained more traction in August, and is now rolled out a lot more features in September. So you can see what I'm doing. I am mostly split between the LST and the Earn with a tiny bit on leverage. I do have another wallet, but generally I'm about 50-50 between these two, as I like to be diversified in where I hold these two assets anyway. I'm across a few platforms. So in case of that smart contract risk, which is always present, even on something like this, you have to bear that in mind. And there is also the risk, while it's not a huge risk, but if you're going to do the leverage, obviously Solana at the time of recording is about $238. You know, it's broken its local all-time high right now. You do have the risk, if the price does fall, you will be doubling your losses.